right, after much waiting and long anticipated, according to the comments in several of my videos, here is Planet X's Vulcan. Up his neck came undone there while I was transforming him. So yeah, here he is in the plastic flesh, robotics, whatever. Vulcan, he is obviously Planet X's final, well, not final because I guess they're doing paddles, but of the 5 main Dinobots from War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron, I can't remember which one they were in, Fall of Cybertron. From the video games, I've been a big fan of this line. I think they do some really neat designs and really captured the look of the video game characters. They did finally make Grimlock. And so here he is in dinosaur mode. And before we get into a lot of the details of how he works and all of the features and fun, I think the best statement I can make about this is just to simply do this. That in front of him is the Hasbro Fall of Cybertron Grimlock with the Iron Factory. I think it's Iron Factory little chest kit there. But right off the bat, he now, granted, the Hasbro one does have that light up gimmick, although mine has apparently decided to. You saw it flash, so as of right now, stop working. Light up gimmick. But yeah, a much cooler, much larger, chunkier Grimlock design with a much better tail, as you can see, than this fat tail he had here. So yeah, overall, a very nice, much nicer design. And this tail does hinge at 3 places, here, here, and here. So you can get it in various curved positions. It doesn't go up or down. Well, actually, it does go up and down a little bit, thanks to the hinges here. You can see some support struts, which are what allow this to happen. But when you see how all this works and folds up, that tail's actually a pretty neat engineering bit. So yeah, he doesn't have any light-up features, but he's got the movable tail, a much nicer looking Tyrannosaurus mode here. You can flip these little panels up to reveal the thrusters in here from the game. Or you can fold them down and just have him laying along his back. His mouth opens pretty wide. He's got a little flamethrower in his mouth. I don't know how well that's showing up on camera, but there is a red plastic flamethrower there inside of his mouth. His mouth is open and closes. He does have a neck swivel here. The arms move up here. There's a swivel this way and a swivel this way. He's got a hinge shoulder, or hinge elbow, I guess. And the top 2 fingers here, the top two fingers are one piece, but the top 2 fingers do move independently of that little bottom thumb piece. The legs can rotate out a little bit. Obviously can rotate forward and back. There's a swivel right here. This right here is a hinge joint right above what will be his robot mode elbow hinge joint, as well as a hinge joint down here on the lower foot, and some in and out movement. So he's pretty posable for a dinosaur. But yeah, some nice use of clear plastic throughout. That side does have the screw holes. This one does too, I guess. They didn't give you any of the little screw hole covers this time around. At least not in mine. Mine also came missing instructions, so otherwise complete in the box, but did not come with an instruction sheet, so I had to figure it all out on my own. Before we transform, I'm going to do something I don't usually do, because I'm going to have to transform all these guys to robot mode in between cuts here. But here he is with all of his fellow Planet X dinos. We got Neptune, we got Quiniris, we got Simanus, and of course Kalos, along with Vulcan. So here are all of the current Planet X dinos all together in dinosaur mode, and they look pretty good. We'll go ahead and get those out of the way here. And we'll prepare to transform him into robot mode. Before we do that, real quick, he does come with a really nice looking sword and a giant shield. Both of which do have pegs and can, if you want to, they can store on the legs of the dino mode, much like the Hasbro one did. So you can do that. All right, and to transform this guy, first off, we're going to start back here at the tail, which miraculously splits top to bottom like this. Unpeg them all the tabs here, rotate the pieces out. This is going to cause some problems later, but for right now we're good. So separate that out like that. Lift this panel up right here, and you can detach the legs from up here on the chest. You can see that kind of all comes apart there. Go ahead and split the legs down here, right there. And so basically you got to bring the legs down. You can go ahead and detach the chest piece comes up and loose a little bit, give it a little bit more room, but turn the waist to the side here because the legs have to go up and over and around like this. And there's a lot of turning it will help that. You are going to have to bend this a little bit. It seems sturdy enough to withstand that, but it is a little scary the first few times you do that. And again, you want to kind of get this piece. This side is a little easier because you can just flip the tail up, keep this flat, and you don't have to bend it as much. You do have to kind of pull it out a little bit to the side, but as long as you're not just yanking on it, you just push it, just kind of push it enough to go around. It should be okay, but it is a little scary the first couple times you do it. And once that's done, you can rotate the waist back around to the front. The thrusters form the kneecaps here. Push the knees all the way up into here. And then the feet, these panels right here, rotate into the body, and the feet come around and out like that. You can push that panel in, flip the feet out. There's some little gold pieces in here that'll form heels. Just like that. There, and the tail pieces fold up and rotate around and in to the back of the legs on each side. So up, straighten them out, fold it in, bring it down, and they just kind of fold out and hang out here on the back of the leg. Thought they folded in a little better than that, but maybe I'm wrong. Oh no, that's it. It does have some ankle tilt there. That should, I feel like that should go in a little better than that. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. Does that plug in like that? Yeah, so rotate them so they fold in flat. There we go, like that. So you have to collapse this piece and then just fold this piece in. They're different hinges, but make sure that's collapsed all flat. And those will form the back of the legs right there. And then on the upper body, we'll go ahead and do the arms first. Well, actually, we'll go ahead and do the backpack first. So this piece right here lifts up this way, towards the top. You lift that up, and that untabs the arm pieces here, or the chest pieces, which come out. I'll flip this piece down right here, and that'll allow this to open up. You come around on the back, but you rotate it around, open these up wide. This panel right here flips up, and then this whole assembly folds down inside here. Clip his head up. So you straighten this head until these pieces can close over it. Lock that back down on the back there. Fold this piece, kind of folds down and up on this hinge. This piece folds down to cover this piece right here. And then this whole assembly, you can see on this hinge, just kind of rests on the back. You can kind of get there's a little divot here on his chest that his chin can rest on. It doesn't latch into place, but it sits right there. This whole chest assembly now comes all the way up and plugs into his chest. I fold the arms down alongside the backpack. Let's get his legs straightened out here. He's got those dual hinges in the legs that some of the previous ones had, so you gotta make sure they're straight to support him. Come up here. And then the arms, these upper panels come out and slide down onto his shoulders. Rotate the arm around there at that gray hinge and straighten it if it's not already straight, because this will be our robot mode hinge. And then the lower legs open up and collapse up onto the forearm like this. And snap together up here. And that exposes his fists. And same over here. Bring these up. Bring something up and collapse it together onto the arm. And there are his fists exposed. And there he is in robot mode. He's big, he's bulky, he's powerful. He's got a ball joint head. He's got rotating swivels, shoulders this way and this way. He does have the bicep swivel. You've got the dinosaur mode joint as well as this elbow joint. This one's a little tighter, so you may pull that dinosaur mode joint out, but this is his actual robot elbow joint. Wrist swivels. His fingers are all one piece, but do open. He's got a waist swivel. Ratcheting, or actually they don't ratchet. I thought they ratchet, but swivel legs from side to side, which are nice and tight. The ratcheting knees. And he does have some ankle tilt there, so a lot of good posability there in him. He can hold his shield in one hand, just like that. And the sword actually has a little cap here that you open up to slide. You can't just snap it into his hand. So you slide it through his hand, and then you can close that cap up to hold the sword. So yeah, all in all, a very nice, very cool looking Fall of Cybertron Grimlock. And again, size comparison wise, here he is with the original Hasbro Grimlock. Much bigger, much beefier, much more powerful, a lot more articulation. And like I said, overall I think a much nicer looking figure and a much closer match to the video game. Although this really wasn't bad for the time. Very simple and hollow, and the tail was kind of bleh. But outside of this guy wasn't horrible, but this guy is tons better. And of course, since we did it in dinosaur mode, here he is with all of his fellow Fall of Cybertron teammates. Let's see if we can't get them all in the shot here. Rotate his sword down. So there's the team complete. Again, I know they're doing the paddles out of, based off of the Neptune mold. But, yeah, we'll back up here to show them all off. But yeah, there's the Fall of Cybertron Dinobots as made by Planet X. Very cool set. Glad to finally have yet another set of Dinobots completed. I have all 5 of the Toy World ones. There's still plenty more Dinobots on the way for those of you who just can't get enough Dinobots. But yeah, there's the final piece for me, at least, I think, from Planet X, VULCAN. Definitely worth picking up, especially if you've been collecting the line. These 5 as a set look really great. I've been really happy with some of the stuff Planet X has done with these designs, and VULCAN is no exception.